The light in the darkness. Ethan had always lived in solitude. His days were a monotonous routine. Wake up, go to work, return home, and stare at the ceiling in the dim glow of a single lamp. His small apartment was as empty as he felt inside. There was no laughter, no warmth, only silence that echoed louder than any sound. Life had lost its color, and every day felt the same. But everything changed one rainy evening. Ethan had left work later than usual, and the streets were nearly deserted except for the sound of raindrops tapping against the pavement. As he turned a corner, he noticed a woman crouched near a park bench, struggling to protect a small, shivering puppy under her coat. Without thinking, he approached her. "Do you need help?" She looked up, her eyes filled with kindness. "I think he's lost. I couldn't leave him alone in the rain." Ethan hesitated before speaking. I live nearby. You can bring him inside until the rain stops." She smiled, and for the first time in years, Ethan felt warmth spread through his chest. Her name was Lily. That night, they dried the puppy, laughing as it ran across the apartment, knocking over books and wagging its tiny tail. Lily talked about everything, how she loved the sound of rain, how she believed every person carried a little light within them, even if they couldn't see it themselves. Ethan listened, drawn to her voice like a beacon in the dark. Over the next few days, Lily became a presence Ethan didn't know he needed. She showed up at his door with coffee, dragging him out to explore the city, pointing out beautiful things he had never noticed before. The way the sun painted the sky in golden hues, the way music from a street performer could make strangers smile. For the first time in years, Ethan felt something different. One evening, as they walked by the river, she turned to him. "Ethan, do you know what I see when I look at you?" He shook his head, afraid of the answer. "I see someone who thought he was alone but never truly was. Someone who just needed a little light to remind him that life is still beautiful." Ethan looked into her eyes and realized something. She wasn't just talking about him. She was his light, the one who had walked into his life and made every moment special. And for the first time in a long time, Ethan smiled. Not out of politeness, not to hide the emptiness, but because he truly, finally felt something real. The darkness he once knew was fading, and all because Lily had stepped into his life like a miracle he never saw coming.